This is a Mossberg 930 tactical shotgun. I'm going to show you how to disassemble it. Take this, your end cap off here. At this side. That just pulls off real easy. Next, cock that back. And how I do it is I just grab here and gently pull forward. Okay? That's where your piston will slide out. You ain't got to worry, nothing will come apart here. I'm going to set that out like that. Then you want to take your spacer off. I have no idea what that's called. Spring. Retainer. And then you want to take your shotgun, or your actual bolt assembly, pull that forward, and just grab this and pull straight up. The notch goes to the back of the gun. Set that there. Then you just want to put your finger behind the bolt assembly, pull it forward. You got this tail. Something to note on this bolt assembly, that pin right there can actually slide on its own, so you can kind of push it. If you're not careful, it'll actually slide out, and when you go to assemble this, you'll think you'll have it, but it won't be actually down. It needs to be flat, like that. Okay, so set that there. Now, on this part of it, the trigger assembly, it's also important to note when you take this apart, on this side there is a pin that if you knock these out and you're not paying attention, that pin will just fall away. So what I do is I turn this down to the ground, start those out. It doesn't take much. Okay. You just get them. Okay, and you just take your pins out. So take your pins out. Hold on. Okay. Oh, it's a fight. Normally it doesn't take this much, but sometimes it can carry. Okay, so you got both your pins out, and those can go back in either way, so it's not like it's particular. Then, this is the part I was telling you about. That pin right there that lets this door pivot is the one you got to worry about. If it's under pressure from this being, your sear being retained, you don't have to worry about nothing. But if it's not, then it'll just fall out, and it doesn't take much. Anyway, there's another thing I wanted to tell you that I discovered the hard way, was this piece right here, which this is your tells you that your indicator, your loaded indicator. This piece sits inside here like this. It's just a piece of aluminum inside of a spring. It sits down inside there like that. That piece actually fell out on me, and I didn't know until I got the gun back assembled, and I noticed my indicator wasn't there. And without that there, your sear doesn't have, that's your return spring for your sear. It's your spring actually, so you gotta have that there. Okay, tips on assembly. This is probably what people get the most frustrated by with this gun, is how to assemble this back, and I found a trick to it. Because most people, they start by putting the assembly back in first, your trigger assembly. What I do is I actually put my bolt in first. You set it in here, get it in right, put your bolt down. You got your tail that sticks out here. I take this up, and you see the tail's just flopping around in there. I take that tail and I line my finger up, and I hit the bolt. It'll drop down just enough. See that? See how it's lined up into its hole? That's where it's supposed to go. Okay. Then I take this, and remember the notch goes to the butt of the gun. Take that. Boom. Okay. So that'll just hang out there for a second. And as long as you got him in, because you got to fight that in if you have this in. If you just leave this out like I just did, then you can actually guide it in there with your finger, and it's so much easier. Take this in here, lay it on its side. How I do it is I just get one. I get one going and just hold my fingers here to where it makes it flush. Take one of my pins. Just a gentle. Get it all the way back there. Oop. Sometimes it's a pain to line these up. Once you hear that little click, most of you got it. There it is. Get one started. Come over here. And if you just take your finger, make this flush. That's how it was machined. So I'm gonna look. And take your little punch, run it in there. Okay. And then okay, so then cycle your gun back. Make sure you got good function. Also, like I said, you want to make sure that your indicator's there. If your indicator, you get done and you notice your indicator's gone, that little piece that I pointed out fell out, and my daughter actually was the one who brought it to me, so yeah, it doesn't hurt to just kind of look around and check your gun for function. Alright, reassembly is pretty simple. This piece here goes like that, so your spring can sit there. You gotta pull the bolt back for reassembly, so that's flush. Spring. Spacer. And then that's the part you need to clean the most. Your piston here, and inside this chamber here, you need to clean that really well. That's really and truly what makes your gun reliable. Put your piston back in. Okay. And then come in here. It'll fit tight. And then check for function. Check if your chamber's clear. And she's good. Mossberg 930.